I hardly talk, but it's hard to think. And it was hard to stay awake getting here. But that's all, again, another situation. We want to look at the story behind this message. Notice that this said, "But I tell you this, though he won't do it for friendship's sake, if you keep knocking, if you keep praying, whatever you ask, you'll receive." The story that we want to look at is the story of Samuel in 1 Samuel, the first chapter, verses 9 through 18. And I want to read those. So if you'll turn there, we'll read them. 1 Samuel, the first chapter. I have to hurry up because Beth told me that they were going to leave about 11:30 and I had to quit then. No. I'm just joking, Beth. By the way, I got another little joke to tell you. There was a little boy who asked his teacher if a person should be punished for something he hadn't done. I don't know, maybe since Beth's a teacher, she's probably heard that question too. Or maybe Kaylee and Savannah has even voiced that question. The little boy asked his teacher if a person should be punished for something he hadn't done. The teacher said, "No, certainly not." "Good," said the little boy, "I haven't done my arithmetic yet." Now, you think that these little kids don't get smart enough to know how to work their way around the teachers? They do the parents too, let me tell you. It doesn't take them long. 1 Samuel, the first chapter, verses 9 through 18. Once, after a sacrificial meal at Shiloh, Hannah got up and went to pray. Eli the priest was sitting at his customary place beside the entrance of the tabernacle. Hannah was in deep anguish, crying bitterly as she prayed to the Lord. And she made this vow, "O Lord of heaven's armies, if you will look upon my sorrow and answer my prayer and give me a son, then I will give him back to you. He will be yours for his entire lifetime, and as a sign that he has been dedicated to the Lord, his hair will never be cut." As she was praying to the Lord, Eli watched her. Seeing her lips moving but hearing no sound, he thought she had been drinking. "Must you come here drunk?" he demanded. "Throw away your wine." "Oh, no, sir," she replied. "I haven't been drinking wine or anything stronger, but I am very discouraged, and I was pouring out my heart to the Lord. Don't think I am a wicked woman, for I have been praying out of great anguish and sorrow." "In that case," Eli said, "go in peace. May the God of Israel grant the request you have asked of him." "Oh, thank you, sir," she exclaimed. Then she went back and began to eat again, and she was no longer sad. Has anybody here ever been in the position that Hannah was in? You know, people have made fun of you. They've ridiculed you for maybe the way you live or how you look or something, and you just put up with it so long. Maybe it's a member of your own family like it was with Hannah. But Hannah could not have a child, but the second wife of her husband had children. And so she was always on to Hannah about Hannah not being faithful or fruitful to her husband. And so Hannah was getting perplexed, discouraged, I think is the way they put it. And then she had great anguish and great sorrow, and so she went, as they normally did, with her husband and the other wife. They went to the sacrificial meeting. And while she was there, unknowing, because even her husband realized that, and you can go back and read the story, even her husband realized that there wasn't anything he could do. But he was wondering why this was bothering Hannah so much. And I know we've all been husbands and wives. We've all been in those kind of situations, you know. Why should you be in such a turmoil over the situation like that? Isn't it the fact that I am your husband? Wouldn't that suffice? Why do you think you have to have children? Well, the other wife, she was the one that was festering the sore, so to speak, and keeping Hannah in such discouragement. But she decided to go pray. It says that Eli the priest was sitting at his customary spot when Hannah got up and went to pray. Hannah was in deep anguish, crying bitterly as she prayed to the Lord. A little bit later it says she was pouring out her heart to God. Now I think that's telling you and I something very important there. Whenever we become discouraged, and it don't matter where we're at, we don't have to be in church. Wherever we are. Hannah had went to the sacrificial meeting and then decided to go outside by the gate, not too far from where Eli sat, to pray. We can go out under the oak tree. We can go out in the backyard at the picnic table. Wherever we are at, if we become so discouraged and we feel like that we can't go on, it's time to go to the Lord and pray. Pour out our heart to Him. Now, the story, if you read it, says that as she sat there praying, Eli noticed her, that her lips was moving, but he didn't hear anything. Now, I can almost see this unfolding even today, you know. If we see somebody with their head bowed at the table in a restaurant and they're praying, do we think that they're praying for their meal? Or they're just about ready to fall asleep? Or maybe they've had one drink too many. And that's quite often what we think. That's what Eli thought. He mistook what he saw and what was happening to believe that Hannah was drunk. She said, "Oh, no, sir. I haven't been drinking wine or anything stronger. But I am so discouraged that I was pouring out my heart to the Lord." What a witness. Don't think I am a wicked woman, for I have been praying out of great anguish and sorrow. So we can see that no matter how or what the problem is in our life, if there's a need, we can pray to God. We don't have to say